Hey, what's up, eight man football coaches? This is Coach Hill again uh, here to talk a little bit about six and six shallow concept and eight man. Like we really like it so far. I'm gonna try to keep this video short and try to get to the point. So, as you guys can see on the screen here, this is our concept late six. So late, we put our Z and H on the left side, and six is just four verticals. Some people use choice routes on this, whatever, but I think that's kind of self-explanatory. I can explain that more in another video. This is something that we tag, so we call it late six H shallow or late six Z shallow or X shallow, in order to get to a new concept. So let me explain that real quick. Late six, lied to you. Let's start with Z shallow. If we call late six Z shallow, what we're reading here is the outside linebacker. So let's say there's an outside backer here. He's going to be the apex defender. We're going to read that guy. So there's only two ways that he can cover the flat if it's zone. He can either turn and run with this guy and turn his back for just a second and then decide, knowing that later on I'm going to break back off. But he has to respect that this guy is not going to target the deep flat. So if he turns and runs and gains depth with this guy at all, that's going to vacate the flat right here, and that's when we're going to hit that Z as he comes shallow across the field. This route is running like right at the heels of the defensive line, like super fast. Quarterback footwork wise, it's going to go one, two, three balls. Like the balls should be able to come out like right then, and you're eyeing this cat the whole time. So if he sits, what we're going to do now is this guy, as soon as he gets up to 10 yards, he is going to make a decision based off what these inside backers do. If they did some kind of drop that looked like this, and one of them maybe somebody blitzed, this guy might settle right here. He'll stop right here. No point continuing that route. So it kind of turns into like the curl flat concept, but like with like a shallow drag coming as the flat route. So another thing that could happen is that this inside linebacker could drop to a prototypical hook curl. This guy dropped to a hook curl. If that happens, he's going to find himself open and he's going to settle. He'll settle right here, right in the middle. So, and that's where settling noose comes in. And it's a really easy concept to teach. It's like a day one install for us. And I think if I was only going to run one play or two plays here, I would just teach six and six shallow, just because it's such an easy way to get different players the ball. And the beautiful part about this is, I'm going to go ahead and save that, is that we just tag it as 6Z shallow or 6H shallow or 6X shallow. And it's great against being like considering that it's a zone, like how to read it against zone, but it's also a man beater. And this is my favorite thing about this concept is a lot of times people get man here and it's frustrating for them because you got somebody with inside leverage here and he cuts the Z off and the Z never comes open, and this guy runs with the Y and it muddies up the read and it's just not there. So what you can do in order to protect this concept against man coverage is do something like, not that one, like that, late 6-8 shallow. Because now we're going to let the Z go first and we just teach our H here, which will end up being off the line here, that he's going to allow that Z to come up the field and go right off his butt and then run that shallow like that. And what you're actually going to end up with here is it's going to end up being like a natural rub between the two-man covered players that are on these guys. A lot of times they'll run into each other. What I'd like for you guys to look at here is how this works as a man beater concept, because this guy right here is in man on our H, and this guy right here is in man on our Z. So watch what happens with these guys as they start working vertical. Clears this guy all the way out, and they've got a little robber here that was responsible maybe for anything that was coming across, but it ends up putting our kid in a really good spot where he can play. And like I said, beater concept, super simple read for the quarterback. He can, jump and throw that ball. Um, Again, I really like to have seen my Y here run big, anytime we tap yellow. On six, we want that guy to run a big. I just didn't get the call, or I mean, he's a pretty savvy player. He might have just said, "Well, I'll just run." off. Regardless, good play, easy concept to teach, and I hope you guys enjoyed watching the video. It's super simple. It works as a man beater. It works great against zone, and it's super easy to teach. It's even better with the back out of the backfield. We'd send him on a shoot on to the direction of the shallow runner, and that becomes the third read there if something gets muddied up because an inside linebacker takes the shallow. But anyway, regardless, if you guys like this video and like this format of seeing it, I recorded it a little bit differently than I normally do, like on my computer using Huddle. Leave a comment, like, and subscribe. Enjoyed making the video for you guys. So let me know if you guys have any questions or comments, and you're always free to reach out to me in any way that you can. All right, thanks, guys.